What's up, guys? It's IFM here, and I was recently selected by the members of the Ruins of Alph forum on Smogon to participate in their Battle of the Week against ISA. We're going to be playing some GSC OU, kicking it old school here, going back to Gen 2. And for this match, it ended up falling right in the middle of World Cup of Pokemon season, so I think we were both a little bit preoccupied with that, as we're both starting for, respectively, US East and Europe in the GSC slots. So we didn't put as much time probably into testing these teams as we could have. But still, it ended up being a pretty fun match. It's always fun to play ISA. We seem to get matched up pretty much every single tournament, and I never disappointed in our games. He's a great player, and I was really happy that I got a chance to fight him here on this stage. So yeah, I'm just kind of ended up picking like a pretty standard team. I didn't want to reveal much for World Cup of Pokemon for this because no need to bring out my my crazy stretch that I'm about to bop some people in a couple games from now. But anyways, so I'm just going standard. I'm going with a Zapdos, Snorlax, obviously it's GSC, Cloyster, Executor, Steelix, and a Vaporeon to round out the team. Just your standard boom team with a late game Vaporeon sweeper once things kind of get out of the way, because just it's a ridiculously powerful Pokemon. I think it's up there. Machamp, Vaporeon are probably the two best just late game, just fuck shit up Pokemon. And it ends up being a Zapdos versus Zapdos mirror right there. Sorry for hitting my mic. And I go for the Thunder. My Zapdos is obviously better. It's mine. And I take it down to 61% health, and he just completely whistles on his. And now he's left at a bit of a tough spot, because I got the pretty big advantage, Zapdos versus Zapdos. So, I'm just going to go off, fire off another Thunder. Not a lot of Pokemon out there that really want to take a Thunder outside of your typical ground types. So I feel pretty safe doing so. And he manages to hit his second time around, but obviously my Zapdos is better. It hits again as well. And then finally misses as he switches in his Blissey. Now, with Blissey, and he's not going to pose a huge threat to my team, so I can just go to Cloyster, get some spikes set up, and just start racking up the hazard damages. It does give him the opportunity to switch Zapdos back in for free, which is not the best, but it does give me a chance to get Snorlax in then, start firing off some double edges, and he's going to switch his own Cloyster into my Snorlax. And I feel pretty safe here that he's not going to go for anything major, just going to try to set up spikes, so I get the double edge off. And that's key, because now Cloyster can't switch into Snorlax again. If it does, it's going to die to double edge plus spikes, even with one more turn of leftovers recovery, because I'm just going to switch out here. And I figure it's pretty safe. You know, my Cloyster, it's packing HP Electric. It can threaten his Cloyster, and worst case scenario, he's just going to boom on it, and we're both going to be at our Cloysters, and I'm going to have spikes set up, and he's going to have spikes. It's a pretty much, the worst case scenario is a wash. And I've already got a Zapdos in a Sleep Talk loop, so kind of a big advantage there. And yeah, like I said, just goes to the explosion. I'm not entirely sure if that was a roll or not. Probably not, because I'm running HP Electric. But it does leave me in a situation where I can just kind of get my Executor in for free. And here he ends up switching in as Mischievous, and I'm like, oh, this could be a slight issue with maybe some Destiny Bond sort of tomfoolery stuff like that, maybe Parasong. And sorry, by the way, for the video zooming in at this point. I'm not entirely sure why it did that, but I just go for the Psychic on the Protect. Just try to get a little bit of chip damage on it, so it can't switch in as many times as possible. And after that, I figure, hey, he stayed in. I think he's probably going to stay in. I mean, the two options really are Zapdos and, you know, kind of just trying to set up with the Mischievous. And turns out he's running a pretty OP set right there, playing with the cool Zap Cannon Mon. And not something you see every day, but it is a show match. Might as well bring out some of the fun. And here he ends up switching in his Zapdos. I just decided to go for a really early explosion on it, because I see that right now his team doesn't have a whole lot to handle the Vaporeon. And if I can take out the Zapdos, then it's looking for me like this Vaporeon is going to be doing some work. And I get my own Zapdos in, and he switches in Marowak and goes for the Rock Slide, gets the crit. Zapdos is dead. And that's a bit unfortunate, but what can you do? It's Pokemon. So I took the opportunity then to just, you know, threaten his Marowak out with my Vaporeon and get some growth set up. And he's going to send in Blissey. And you know what the great thing about GSC is? That a light screen Blissey can't beat your special sweeper. So I can just have the opportunity to growth a bunch. He sends in his Snorlax, he's predicting another growth, and I'm like, I do not want this guy setting up Belly Drum. So I surf, he Belly Drums, I surf again, and it's dead. And that's pretty much GG for that Snorlax right there. He's going to go for the Zap Cannon. I'm just going to surf down this Mischievous, and the light screen's finally away. So take the opportunity to go for a rest there. because right now I'm not seeing much on his team that's going to be threatening me. It decides to zoom in again. That sleep talk button is really important. And go for the sleep talk, get some growth set up, because all I got to do really is just wait for this Blissey to kind of the light screen to go down, and I threaten it pretty bad now. Now look, take a look at that screen. That's just beautiful right there. Look at those flamethrowers. So the light screen's off, and I just go for the surf, crit the Blissey, rest in peace. I gotta really fix this thing. I don't know why it did that. I apologize for that. Gets his Missy, just gonna surf again, just take it out. Zap Cannon decides to miss. And who needs the Hodors? And Vaporeon just one more surf, take down the Marowak, take down Isa for a fun Battle of the Week match. And thank you guys so much for picking me. It was a pleasure playing it. And until next time, IFM out.